So the first thing that I want to do is let's chop up our vegetables and get those ready so that we have everything ready to go in. And I've washed up my pepper and I am ready to go. I'm going to just take the top off. I usually have a compost bin that I'm working with, and I cut the top off of that and slice it. And I am no culinary expert, but I do have about 40 plus years of cooking experience, so counts for something. And my onion, now it depends on how much you like onion. Some people like a lot, some people don't like any, especially if you're cooking for kids. Been there, done that. So I like to include a lot of onion in my food. I happen to like that. So I'll usually use anywhere between a half to a whole onion for a dinner, for a meal. So making sure that you keep some of those on hand. And I like to use strips because it gives it more of the Oriental Asian kind of, I never waste the top of the pepper either. So that's that. So now I've got that, the peppers and onions are ready to go. The garlic, I will use anywhere upwards of 2+ cloves in a meal when I'm using garlic. And I just quickly take the peel off of that. And then there's several little contraptions out there that you can use to do that. And I just mince it up really good. The onions are getting to me now, so I'll be crying. Okay, so now I've got my garlic. I got my garlic and I'm gonna put it right there. And the last thing that we need to cut up and prepare is the ginger. Now, mind you, we are doing this in 30 minutes or less. So some people will use the dry ginger in a spice jar. I really like the anti-inflammatory effect of ginger, so I just make sure I always have a tuber of it on hand. And I just cut around the ginger so I'm getting the brown, hard brown coating off. I slice it and chop it in a couple pieces, and then I mince it just like the garlic. Now, some people, my daughter, for one, cannot have ginger. She is pretty allergic to it. Causes her throat to swell. So when I'm cooking Thai or Asian with her, we don't do ginger. But I can put that right in with the garlic. And then all our prep work is basically done. I stir and I am going to get going. So turn on. I always like to warm up the pan really good. Like I said, full disclosure, I'm not a culinary expert, but lots of years of experience. And I actually love to cook so much that me and my husband prefer to eat in than out. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add what my secret sauce is the shoyu sauce or soy sauce. So I add my 3 tablespoons to the pan, and I let that warm up a little bit. I have found through plant-based cooking for myself and trying to eliminate the oils because of cardiac risk factors, that when I use the soy sauce or shoyu sauce, for me personally, I'm not as concerned about the sodium as I am the oil. So that's one of the things. If you're watching, you can use low sodium soy sauce. That's perfectly fine. So I do that, and then I'm going to add my onions, and we're going to go ahead and do that. Now that I'm wearing the soy sauce. And I'm gonna add actually the peppers next. And I'm going to go ahead and get them hot, stir them up a little bit. So I don't like to cook the peppers to the point where they're totally mushy. So when they just start to soften a little bit, I'm going to add in some of the stuff that makes the great takeout, the great spicy Asian spices in here. So I've got my garlic and my ginger. And it's starting to get fragrant. One of the things I like about the soy sauce, as I mentioned, is that it really gives it kind of a steaky, grilly outy kind of flavor. I don't know if that's a technical cooking definition, but it's mine. So I'll add in my 2 tablespoons of rice vinegar. And this is gonna get a little bit of the sweet and sour, and then 2 tablespoons of the maple syrup. Now I've got my sauce going in here with the vegetables. And I'm telling you how easy this is and how quick. I'm gonna go ahead and throw in my 4 cups of broccoli for my husband and I. Also, if you make it 2 servings and it's just you, well, you can very easily have dinner, wonderful dinner one night and great lunch the next day if you are working. So I'm gonna go ahead, and it has a really pretty color to it. I am just gonna go ahead and throw in the almonds too, because I like when the almonds get just a little bit soft, and then I don't splinter them. You can sliver them or chop them up, but I like the whole almonds, so I just throw them in. I'm going to just sweat this out and cook that. So at this point, the broccoli is probably about halfway, 3/4 of the way cooked through. Just warmed up and cooked through. We don't want it mushy again. I don't want to lose that vibrant green to it. And I'm going to go ahead and add my rice. Now, you can do this 2 ways. You can go ahead and use, I love the frozen rice. Let me put that out. You can go ahead and use the frozen rice, and you can put it in the microwave and have it separate and then top it with this mixture. Or, because I'm a huge fan of 1-pan meals, easier cleanup, quicker because you're not, going and microwaving it. I will go ahead and just throw it in with my meal. Then I've got everything in here together, and we just, as soon as he hears the bowls come out, my husband knows it's dinner time, so. But I'll go ahead and do that, and actually go ahead and add a pinch of the crushed red pepper, which we like because it's got a little bit of that heat to it. And then as I top this again and give it a little bit more sweat, now I still have it on high heat because to me it's not really, it's cooking, and but you can lower it as you need to. And granted, looking at the time, this has not even been like 15 minutes that we've spent between the chopping of the vegetables. And a lot of the prep work you can do while you're doing the onions. You can go ahead, pull your onion and pepper and your garlic and your ginger, go ahead and chop them, throw some the soy sauce in the pan and do those while you're doing that, then pull out your other ingredients. So it really is fast, and you can just kind of get your own system of the flow. Those are the main ingredients, and you can be creative. I thought about, you could add carrots to this, you could add some edamame for a little more protein, but and definitely you can add some ginger sesame tofu, if there's a great recipe out there for that. So just adding a little extra if you want. If you have a bigger family, you can always add in a little bit more. So I'm gonna go ahead and check this. And I would say this is really on the, you don't want to, like I said, you don't want to cook it too to the point where you're losing, where it gets the green brown. You want to keep it that bright green. So I'm going to go ahead and turn the heat off of this and actually remove the pan from the heat, because I found that when I leave it on the same burner, it still is cooking. And I'm even going to take the top off to let it not concentrate.
So I hope you enjoyed this recipe today. This is definitely one of my go-tos when I am in a pinch. A lot of times when I was working, I loved to do the cooking, and so I would just try and find ways that I could put together healthy meals, and realized that I really have a niche for being able to put together these meals in less than 30 minutes. So I hope you enjoyed it. Leave me some feedback, and I really look forward to putting out more of these videos, and let me know if there's anything else you're interested in and any other recipes that you'd like some information on. But we'll be working on more of these, and stay tuned for more vlog and blog and some more information and lots of updates from my 4D Wellness. Thanks so much, and have a great night.